Happy Memorial Day. I think about what some people did for me to be able to sit here and stream today, and I'm grateful. Grateful to live in a country that allows us to express ourselves, to indulge in things that aren't possible in other parts of the world. Grateful for freedoms of exploration, entrepreneurship, and discovery. Grateful for technological advances, the freedom to explore a vast and varied and wonderful country. Grateful for the ability to make friends, to go places, and to see incredible things. Also grateful for the friends that I've made along the way and the adventures that we've had. But it's more than that. It's more than just the sim. It's the gratitude that I have to live in a country, in a place that allows me to extend myself and become better, become more industrious, become more empathetic of others. This is still one of the most amazing places in the world to live. And we've gotten through some pretty scary times together. And Lord willing, we'll get through others as well. I'm grateful to live here, grateful to put down roots here, grateful to have a family here. And today I pray that you are well and well taken care of. May God bless America. May God bless everyone watching this stream. May God bless our future. There are still vistas to be seen and adventures to be had. Go find them. They're not going to find themselves. They might just be waiting for you to go find them. So go see the world. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for those that have paid dearly for me. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It is I, DIGI Driver, welcoming you to your Sunday, May 28th, 2023. This is Memorial Day weekend, and tomorrow will be officially Memorial Day. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are enjoying yourselves today and that you are mindful, at least in the States, of the price that was paid so that we could do things like this and enjoy what we get to enjoy. Grateful to have you along, even if you're watching, even if you're a bot. Hello, bots. I just feel like doing a little bit of flying today and probably a little bit of scenery dev, although I will go ahead and say I've done a bit of scenery dev already today. We will probably pop over to Plymouth Municipal Airport, Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, just to see some of the signs I put down and to probably talk about some of the things I'll be doing this week. But let me go ahead and continue. I will unmute my sim volume and probably lower it in comparison to my voice as well. Just a touch. Just a touch. And that should be enough for you guys to hear the volume well without me having to fight over the blare of the engines or the rotor blades, if you will. So, let me close some windows down. Let's go fly. I have been sincerely getting into flying helicopters. I was actually just flying an extra a little while ago. Hello, Complete Freedom. And I think I want to fly in the States to start. I just don't know where. I've been kind of avoiding the Rockies. Actually, I have not been around Telluride in a while, and I wonder how far it can go, how close I can be. Let me think. Wait, wait. Where where is, where's Grand Junction? I think it's out here. Hmm. That's weird. The map doesn't show everything that I want it to show. Am I handling this map wrong? Um, it's okay. It's okay. I know where Telluride is. Oh, there's Grand Junction. I missed it. There's Aspen. Do I want to go Salt Lake City? No, 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 no. I think I want to go here. But wait, we were at Grand Canyon the last time. So let's pick somewhere different to go. Ensenada, Sierra Vista, Nogales. Um, I was in San Fran a little while ago. Hmm. You know what? Let's go to let's go to the West Coast. Let's go to San Diego and explore there a little bit. And I will probably just spawn in the air just outside of the airport, hop in a helicopter, and see what landmarks we can pick out. I have been coming to enjoy flying the Cabri, and it's definitely something that I'm going to keep doing for a while. There we go. Why we're live timed that, I don't know. That's better. It's 2:38. There we go. I've been doing sightseeing tours of cities, of major areas, of not so major areas, and I've been doing some scenery dev during the week. Last week was an experiment. I tried to stream as often as I could. I think I did 3 out of 5 weekdays. It was probably a little bit much, so I might do 2 or 3 days this week. Not counting today. This is a weekend stream. I don't do this that much. Okay, so let me lower my volume a little bit. Please let me know if the volume is too low or too loud. I always want to make sure that my volume levels are, as best for you as they can be. And I think I was flying away from the airport. Yes, I was. I have a default copy of San Diego International Airport. I don't have anything new. I don't know. I want to say that either Latin VFR or somebody else made San Diego International for the sim. I know it exists for P3D. I have the Orbex version for P3D. In general, I haven't flown P3D that much, although I might do it either tonight or tomorrow, just to have some fun with it. Although technically it should be used for training, Digi. it's what's the phrase I'm looking for? I bought the professional license, so I can most likely continue to use it on stream and demonstrate things, simulate things, but I forget how all that works. I fly MSFS now for entertainment anyway, so the whole license thing, it's been bypassed. You know, P3D is still an amazing sim, but I think MSFS and X-Plane 12 have bypassed it in terms of popularity. I didn't take a look at the results of the Navigraph Sim survey, so that will probably also indicate the spread or the the number of people in general that are actually flying those sims. But I don't actually sightsee that much around San Diego, and I have my photogrammetry turned on. In fact, let me do something. Since I'm flying as slowly as I am, let me see what happens if I mess with my terrain details, because we're basically looking at terrain with photogrammetry. I'm going to try to punch this up from 200 to 300. I'm expecting stutters. I don't think there's much else that I need to do. So we'll save this and we'll try to see what happens. My guess is that the photogrammetry will render better further out, but we'll see what happens. The one thing that I don't like about photogrammetry is sometimes that when you look at things, the mesh doesn't support the photogrammetry, so it looks like things have water on them when they're not supposed to. I'm not sure why. I forget what aircraft carrier this is, but there are semblances of aircraft that are on it. Like I think there's an F-14 over there. Let me get closer and see if I can hover over the carrier and make them out from above. Right. Bring the collective back down, Digi, slowly. I think I see some F-18s under me. And I think that one, kind of like here, I think that's an F-14. And then they have some helicopters. Let me spin around slowly. I think there's like an EA-6B Growler right where my control stick is. And some other jets. I'm pretty sure somebody has a better model of this drawn up on flightsim.to. Or at least I'm willing to believe they do. But that's fine. I mean, photogrammetry is still, in my opinion, hit and miss. So I'm not worried about it per se. From a distance, though, it does a great job of portraying details and custom buildings. So I'm happy about that. Also grateful that 300 level of detail is compatible with my current system rig, which is great because I'm not getting a whole bunch of stutters, but I'm also not moving very quickly. I'm probably going maybe 5 or 10 knots over the ground. I'm about 450 feet off the ground and climbing. And this is downtown San Diego. Unfortunately, I'm not aware where a lot of things are. I don't know much about the layout of cities like San Diego or Los Angeles, but based on how things look, at the very least, they seem to look nice. There seem to be some nice buildings around here. And it looks like there's some aircraft traffic over at Ksan. So let's go find it. Let's go look, I should say. I'll keep my eyes pointed up while we get some more speed. I'm using the default live traffic along with multiplayer traffic, just to see get a bigger amount of people here. I do see somebody's on the ground at a Bell 407, which is cool. All right, let's chop the collective. We're gonna start descending. I'm also scrubbing speed. And right to the side right there, there is a Spirit Wings, was that A320, A321? That's weird. Did it just land? Or are there actually I don't think Spirit has any cargo planes, do they? Huh, strange. All right, well, let me get out of the way of the runway for one. Yeah, we have an American Airlines aircraft taking off. Ooh, right there. Right there. There they go. Hey, you couldn't do this in real life. I'd be getting heavily fined by the FAA. See ya. That's nice. Wow. The other plane is literally below me. Yep, right there. It's pretty neat. So they're actually departing to the east today, which is weird. Because what, like 9 times out of 10, whenever I fly in here on VATSIM, I land westbound. I forget if it's because San Diego just has east ops and west ops, or if it's literally because 9 times out of 10, the winds have just been blowing in from the ocean. So I don't know. I don't know. Here's the southwest. See you. That's kind of cool. All right. So I haven't really explored the photogrammetry around San Diego, so let's go north. The photogrammetry is probably going to disappear as we get over that hill on the other side, but let's go ahead and explore some more. This, I believe, is the cargo ramp. There is a lot here that's not covered by the airport property. Pretty sure those are photogrammetric buildings, unless, of course, those are actual in-game assets or building archetypes. I don't normally fly this low to the ground unless I'm about ready to land or take off. But I do see that we now have vehicular traffic on this. I think this is I-5. I could be wrong. Probably am. Good afternoon, San Diego, from the Cabri G2 custom helicopter. This is KDIG traffic reporter Digi Driver coming to you with your local traffic. The highways and byways look pretty good right now. If you're going to take a trip to the mall or go pick up some groceries, this would be the time to do it. No major traffic jams of any kind to be found, and I-5 and the major highways looking good. This is your traffic report. About, about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, this level of detail with ground, scenery, and clutter was just not typical. Like, okay, if you had P3D and you had a really boss system, or you knew how to actually configure your system to get the most amount of detail for the least amount of you know, performance, then yeah, this was possible to do. But at the same time, um, what am I trying to say? This this wasn't the norm. You didn't typically see details like this, and that's pretty cool. How fast am I going? About 90 knots. It's not bad. This is nice, actually. It's unfortunate that photogrammetry isn't in many more parts of the country or world, but at the same time, it's like I said, I feel sometimes like photogrammetry is a bit of a double-edged sword. You get extremely customized, buildings and structures, but it gets you to good details until you get to about 400 feet off the ground, and then as you get closer, things start to look different. But I mean, hey, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, not Microsoft Driving Simulator, right? I know because I tried driving it and it doesn't work well, if at all. You have to turn photogrammetry off to be able to drive under certain bridges. And I tried driving, and you cannot. Apparently, there's some kind of problem with the either collision detection or the lack thereof. You cannot drive on bridges over large bodies of water. Like you might cross a little river or a creek, but it doesn't seem to work with. What am I trying to say? It doesn't seem to work with crossing major rivers or major lakes or sections. Like you won't be able to run a car across the Lake Pontchartrain, the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway that goes to like New Orleans. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, cold coffee. Let's go. I do not know where this is or where this goes. I'm just generally flying north away from the city. And I want to say that that leads to the Pacific Coast Highway on my left. And that's a different highway out that way, which is kind of cool. I don't know what city is above San Diego, but I'm kind of having fun exploring. I don't do enough of this. Actually, interesting that I mentioned that. I was privy to a few conversations in some Twitch channels recently, and one of the things that it reminded me of was how, like, a year and some months back, I kind of burnt out. I kind of got tired of streaming. I kind of got tired of flying, quote unquote, the same flights over and over and over again. And I'm like, well, and then I just like stop for a while and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do now? Like, I don't know if I want to keep streaming. I don't know like what kind of flights I want to do. So I stopped and eventually I got to thinking about doing scenery development. And that's a different story, but at the same time, it I had a bit of a reset and I had the chance to think about what I wanted to do again. And then I said, oh, okay, well, I tell you what, then we're going to go ahead and do that and we're going to start over. And I started over and I decided to do scenery development. And I think eventually, as I started building more and more airports, I started connecting with people in a different way. And then something cool happened as a result. I kind of rekindled my interest in flight sim by means of doing something that I don't usually do, which is build airports and fly non-aircraft, non-airliner aircraft. Believe it or not, I'm doing this right now with a gamepad. I'm not saying I'm good, but I am enjoying myself. And I think at the end of the day, that's part of the issue here. Like, you want to have a good time. You want to enjoy yourself in the sim. If for some reason you find yourself not having fun in the sim, figure out what you can do, or maybe just turn off the computer and, go get a drink, go take a walk, spend time with your family, or turn off the sim and go do something else and figure out what else you can do. For me, it's become a question of, hey, can I build an airport, or what airport are people talking about? Now, admittedly, I have been focusing almost all my time on Plymouth Municipal Airport in Massachusetts, not that far away from Cape Cod. But at the same time, I am looking forward to this summer because there are going to be some things that I'm going to do. Details aside, I am planning on trying to build one or more freeware airports for what I call a summer of freeware tour. Essentially, I want to take one or two airports that have been suggested by the community to me to be able to build up really tiny, really small airports, like airports in like, your hometown or airports where you trained at, and really just build them, share them with the community. These would be free airport endeavors. I wouldn't be making money off of them. And then probably figure out what else I want to do in terms of scenery development for the rest of the year. There are several airports, the likes of which I should probably work on or do soon. Airports like Kissimmee, airports like Comox Valley, airports like Roanoke, and probably a few others as well. But I'm not in that much of a hurry to get started on another payware project. I want to do a good job on the one I'm currently working on right now. Oh, wow. There we go. Bumpy street, but photogrammetry, so what are you going to do? This is good. Let me go find somewhere else to fly. I could teleport there, but I think this is a nicer way to do it. Kind of take my time choosing. So, we have been in the US on the world map. Do I want to go somewhere else? Extreme northern Canada or Alaska? Do I want to go to Europe? Do I want to go to Australia or Japan? Tell you where I want to go. I have not been to Japan in a while since they did their world update. So let me see. I could probably explore Japan. Tokyo Skytree. Interesting. That's the Rainbow Bridge right there, and this would probably be downtown Tokyo proper. And I think somewhere in here is the Emperor's Palace. I forget. But this darker shade is basically what's been turned into photogrammetry. And out here is actually Tokyo Disney, I think. I had a freeware add-on for that, but I'm not sure if it's not compatible anymore or if it just isn't there anymore. So I'm going to take the helicopter and I'm going to go there. What time is it over there right now? It's coming into morning time. So tell you what. There we go. Let's make it a little bit later in the day, like 11 o'clock. And then we will see what we see. What are the flight conditions right now? Okay, so live weather is probably cloudy, but let's just get into it and see if it's good or if it's not good. I'm not going to be that far away from the city. If you want to fly along, I'm on East USA server in case you want to grab a chopper or grab a GA aircraft and fly around the area. I'm curious to see if there's any photogrammetry out here. There probably isn't. I think it's just mostly downtown Tokyo and Yokohama, which is about, I don't know, 10, 20 miles down. Okay, the weather is definitely not supportive of VFR endeavors. So tell you what, let's go clear skies for now. So let's see. Let me spin around. This would be the area, I think. Yeah, right here. Right here. So that is Tokyo Disney, although I don't think they have it modeled in terms of photogrammetry. Once upon a time, somebody made a satellite rip of this and put it online. I think it might still be on flightsim.to, although I forget. There's most likely going to be zero chance I'm going to recognize any of this, so I'm not going to worry about that today. I'm probably going to focus my attention on downtown Tokyo, so let's go ahead, fire this thing up and get closer. Not too fast, not too fast. Push it into the yellow, but not the red line. Tokyo kind of fascinates me. This city is so big and so, in my opinion, like densely packed. I still think Tokyo is more populated than New York City, but I guess I could be wrong. I guess I'd have to check the statistics. I think this is one of the ring roads or highways. This is basically the Tokyo Bay Highway or the Wangan. I'm probably mispronouncing that, so I apologize in advance. But there are several road networks that make up the highways of Tokyo. Just like, there's a bigger road network in the US as well. This isn't photogrammetry. I kind of wish it was, but at the same time, that's cool. Maybe somebody's working on releasing updated scenery for Tokyo. That would be cool. But I'm sure that would take a lot of effort as well. And now I think we're coming into photogrammetry, so even the highways are going to be rendered. Let's get some altitude. So the highways are mapped here. I think I'm going to follow the roads and start figuring out my way around here. I used to play a racing game on the Xbox 360 that had these road networks mapped out pretty well. Assetto Corsa has basically a Japan render that has these roads mapped extremely well. So if I want to drive that later, I might do that. This is neat, personally. I would like to go to Japan someday. I've dabbled in the idea of a bucket list trip to Tokyo, Kyoto, like Osaka, uh, uh, like Hiroshima, more than a few times in my life. So the idea of coming to some place like this is both supremely cool and also prohibitively expensive. Although I might be surprised, it's probably not as expensive as I think it is. It's not cheap either, but still. So we're coming into downtown from basically the Upper East Side, if you will. This is amazing. Wow. Right. Let me start slowing down because a lot of buildings are going to come up to meet me really fast. Let's go. There's a road network that goes out that way. I haven't been that way yet. That might lead to the outer ring roads. This leads into downtown, or what I like to call downtown Tokyo, so I'm going to go this way. swinging around. The Bay Road meets the C1 loop here. So you can either go on the inner or the outer ring road. The difference is you'll either go clockwise or counterclockwise around, like, say, the heart of Tokyo. And it's pretty cramped in here. These roads are literally almost right up next to the buildings and the skyscrapers in a sense that are out here. So let's point the nose this way and yank the collective a little bit to the right now. And now let's slow down a little bit more. I'm not going that fast to begin with, and we're still getting details popping right out of this really quickly. So you won't be going that fast on these roads. You're going to cover a lot of ground pretty quickly. I would imagine you probably aren't going to go much faster than maybe 40 or 50 miles an hour on this road when you go right through downtown Tokyo. But it's amazing how many layers of roads and traffic there are going through here. It doesn't look like much, but I think there's like a road underneath that, and then you have it go down to like ground level, and then it snakes around some of the bigger buildings up ahead. I mean, we're already in downtown Tokyo right now. There's an HSBC building right there. There's a construction crane. I wonder when they took pictures of this. When they grabbed the satellite imagery to build the what do I want to say, the photogrammetry. I'm not sure. For all the difficulty that there is in making sure everything works, this is still pretty nice to look at. Sometimes it's not perfect, but the fact that we even have this is still pretty cool. There's a teeny tiny elevated road that goes literally through the absolute heart of Tokyo right here. Let's go that way. It's amazing how much stuff is just stacked on top of itself right here. I think there is a road that goes underneath and comes out somewhere on the other side. I forget what station that is, but that is a train station. And then off to our left is the elevated road, or should be. I mean, in the one sense, it's like, okay, densely populated downtown area, lots of skyscrapers, lots of, asphalt or concrete or roads and such. But I haven't tried doing stuff like this myself. I don't know what that is below, but it looks like probably some kind of like playing fields or courts on top of a building. I could probably try landing on top of that, but I'm not sure if I could pull it off. Let me see. Having fun here. What can you say? Okay. So, I kind of learned to stop fighting the helicopters so much.
Brace yourself.
Whoa, someone's coming through with a raid. Hold on. Hold on. Let me back up a bit. Complete Freedom coming through with the raid. Hello, my friend, and welcome aboard. Folks, if you don't know Complete Freedom, he is one of my longtime friends on Twitch, a friend of this channel. If you haven't already done so, please give my friend Complete Freedom a follow. And Dave Rendon coming through. Hello, my friend. God bless you and your family. It's good to see you again. I'm messing around with a helicopter in Tokyo, as you can see. Wait, wait, come on. Slowly, slowly. There we go. I kind of did it. Let me just move it over. Hey, thanks for the 100 bits, my friend. All right, that's pretty close. That's closer than I think I'd like to get to that outcropping, but we did it. Let me get back up in the air. And point the nose a little bit over here. Yank the stick that way, and then bam. One thing I haven't paid much attention to is the rail system in Tokyo, and there are a lot of trains that come through here. So, I don't know if the bullet trains come into downtown Tokyo directly, but I know there's a lot of trains that come through here. So, over to my left, the highway system will hook back up again, but we're going to follow the train station for a little bit, or the trains. I don't think there's any trains that are animated here, although that would be really cool if there were. And some of these skyscrapers are large. We're just admiring the Japanese photogrammetry in downtown Tokyo, and I am doing things that would get me thrown in prison because I can fly a helicopter however I want to in this sim, which is great. But at the same time, definitely not recommended unless you're sanctioned by the Japanese aviation authorities, which I know I'm not right now, so eh. Let's see what happens if I follow this all the way to where there's no photogrammetry anymore. Oh, I'm coming up on the Rainbow Bridge, which is off to my left. That's weird. I'm seeing these kind of effects on the sides of buildings. Maybe artifacts from my graphics card. I don't think I'm running my PC that hard, but whatever. Okay, so the highway below splits into two. It goes back over to the Bayside Highway, and that highway goes down to Haneda and Yokohama. So this is the Rainbow Bridge, and the Rainbow Bridge basically takes you out of downtown Tokyo and takes you out to the bay. And way down there is Haneda International Airport. And this is the Rainbow Bridge. I'm not flying past this at night, but I would imagine if we change our time of day to the evening times, we should probably be able to see it lit. It's lit. There we go. It's not lit in rainbow colors, but it is lit. Oh, there we go. I guess the colors are on the bottom. Nice. Yeah, let's swing around for the let's swing around for another look. Welcome aboard, friends. Happy to have you aboard as we do a little bit of off the beaten path flying in the sim. Yes, I could probably be doing a flight in an Airbus or in a Boeing or in a business jet, but lately I have found myself appreciating or enjoying flying helicopters a lot more. And it's come in clutch just to see some of the details that exist in the sim. So there you go. There is the bridge. And there is Tokyo proper. The Tokyo Tower is way over there. But this bridge looks pretty cool. Technically, there's two levels to it. You can have the upper level, which is the highway traffic, and the lower level, I think, is the vehicular traffic and also the train traffic. I don't know if it's modeled below. Oh, okay, they did render the train tracks here. Yeah, they're right there. Hang on. Helicopter's a little bit all over the place. Let me rein it back in. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, let's go out here. Hmm. Wow, that's actually quite a bit of detail on the bottom supports. Highway signs are modeled as well. That's neat. And yeah, like I said, the lanes below in the train, they go down to street level, while the highway is still elevated pretty much to the point where it breaks off into northern and southern tracks. So if you want to go to Narita Airport, you turn left. If you want to go to Haneda Airport, you turn right. And the Tokyo Gate Bridge is that way. We could probably go out that way and then see if we can fly close to the airport. Hmm. I kind of like flying through here at night. It's nice. This is the Cabri G2. It's a French helicopter, loads of fun, and quite nice to use if you dare to use a a joystick and throttle, or even a gamepad if you're patient enough. I have an old Xbox 360 gamepad, which suits me nicely. I can't finesse it as well as somebody that has a dedicated, joystick and collective setup, but I'm doing okay. That's a nice looking bridge. Now let's go to Tokyo Haneda International. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I believe most international traffic is going to fly into Narita International Airport, which is way outside the city center. I think some international traffic does still come to Haneda, but it might not be nearly as much as it used to be. I have the premium deluxe version of MSFS, so somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what version you have to have in order to have bespoke scenery for Tokyo. I just know I haven't installed any add-on scenery for Tokyo, not that I remember anyway. But we're flying over there right now. We got about almost 80 knots on the nose, and we are on our way in. Keep the nose pointed down. We've got lots of IRL traffic here. I don't know what the delay is for typical live traffic, but I would imagine it's probably close to 2 to 5 minutes. Whatever the case, though, I think we are we real time right now? I forget. Let me see. Wait, that's real time? Oh, I forget. Yes, it is real time because it is about probably what, like 7, 8 o'clock over there? Oh, all my traffic went away. Hmm. Well, at least I can show you more of the airport now. Haneda reminds me a little bit of Dallas-Fort Worth because the airport, it has a highway running through it, not through the terminals, obviously, but the middle of the property. So the Bayside Highway is directly underneath the helicopter, and you can either follow it back to the city, or you can keep going down to Yokohama. And way out in the bay, there is I think like a wind tunnel or an air filtration system for the bay crossing. Just after or just inside of Haneda, there is, in the city of Haneda, not the airport, there's a tunnel crossing that leads outside to the Tokyo Bay. And where this island is here, there is actually a service area where you can actually stop, take a break, play some games, have some fun, and then you can continue on your way either back into the city or across to the other side of the greater area. If you guys watch any any documentaries or shows on YouTube that cover it, there are some people that document life in Japan. And I watched one of those videos where they showed people going to that rest area to be able to, do stuff, just enjoy themselves. And what kind of interests me is that these folks actually kind of make a point of going to rest areas to actually, go out. Kind of like I used to be when when I was younger, like just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go to the mall and do stuff, but that's what I used to do, and I think that's what some people still do, or at least they might do now. Okay, so this is the area I was talking about before. Basically, you can either choose to go further out on the bay, like this road here, and cross over the bay, or you can go onto the road here and head down the tunnels to Yokohane and the rest of the bay up ahead. So let me do that. Let me increase my speed. Oof, full power. Yeah, I gave it the beans. Let's go. And essentially, that's the same highway that we saw a little bit earlier that just came out of the tunnel. And we will follow that. I don't know if they've modeled certain bridges just outside of Yokohama. We'll find out. And then, depending on what I want to do next, I might shift from flying to basically showing you some of the updates that I've made to my scenery in the sim. And then we might call it. We might. I don't know. But again, folks, welcome aboard. I don't usually do flying streams anymore because I usually just focus on scenery development. But today seemed like a pretty good day to take a break and to hop in an airplane, or in my case, a helicopter, and have some fun. We are following the Bayside Road down to Yokohama. Tokyo is in our rear view mirror, so to speak, and we are on our way down to another big city with some recognizable photogrammetry and landmarks, some of which I don't know, but we will see this. Also, these really, really, really big smokestacks, they are part of a add-on that I've installed called We Love VFR, which I think adds some details to areas in Asia, in Europe, and in the US. I think the US, or the American pack, covers both North and South America. So I haven't done a lot of VFR flying to really notice the smokestacks, but now I'm noticing them. Come on, come on. I think I just need to apply consistent forward pressure, and then we'll really pick up speed. So this bridge isn't modeled explicitly in the sim, but the Bay Bridge ahead is the last bridge on the Tokyo Bay route before you get to Yokohama, which is what we're coming up on right in front of us. I would imagine if you're going to try driving from Tokyo to Yokohama, even using the Bayside route, it would probably take you somewhere around what do I want to say, like 45 minutes to an hour and a half? I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing. I could be wrong here. But we're also driving over what I believe is called Daikoku Futo, which is one of the world's biggest service areas. All the ground vehicles here below. There's a service station that's there, which you can literally go get stuff or just take a break from driving. And here is one of the bridges. And essentially, once you get past the bridge, you have a choice to make. You can either follow the Tokyo Bay Road until it basically ends out here, or you can turn right. And if you do, you'll start turning to Yokohama, and then you can, in theory, begin an arcing turn back to Tokyo if that's what you want to do. So there is photogrammetry here. I forget if there are custom assets that are built as well. And we'll see what we see. Actually, folks, give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Sorry. All right, folks, thanks for waiting for me. Sorry for the delay. Let's jump back in. Ooh. Nose jump right back up. We have been pushing the engine. But here we are. Welcome to Yokohama, at least Greater Yokohama. There is a highway road network that's going through here, but I'm not going to focus too much on it because a good portion of it is actually underground. Like there, those holes there. You're literally I'm literally flying over the highway and it's underneath. Let me slow down. I'm way high above these buildings. Let's go ahead and chop our forward speed, slow it down, take a moment and catch up. All right. So, downtown here I think is probably a bit more spread out and not as like building dense. There are some nice buildings here, like this one. I don't know what this is or what it's for, but it looks cool. And what else do we have? Spin around. There's a Ferris wheel past those two buildings. There's a interesting building right there. There's a bridge we just came past to come here. And probably a convention center below. I don't know. I don't know. And way off in the distance is Tokyo. That's where we just spent time coming in from. So, spin it around real quick. So I'm literally over the highway, which will eventually loop back into Tokyo. But downtown looks a little bit more open than in Tokyo itself. Tokyo, we had a whole bunch of buildings crammed together. It was amazing. It was narrow. Um, Over here, it looks a bit more spread out, a bit nicer. Do I think it's possible that you might be able to one day uh, do flight simming and fly to a different area, and then maybe one day, you know, hop out of the plane and grab a car and go drive around and do stuff? Maybe. I don't know. That would be neat. But at the same time, flight sim is flight sim, and everything else is everything else. So I'm not sure how that would work out, but at the same time, I'm not worried about it. Now, there's probably more details that would come from, this body of water here or this crossing if I turn photogrammetry off, but then we wouldn't get those custom buildings or the detail of I don't know, the ground topography, I want to say. Oh, there's the rest of the highway. Oh, I missed that. That's okay. You know what? I think I'm going to put it down in this field right here. So, not too shabby. Not too shabby. We got to check out some areas of San Diego that I don't normally spend time flying around in. We also got to see downtown Tokyo in Japan, and now we just flew past downtown Yokohama, and I don't know. I might have to indulge and watch some more documentaries once I'm done streaming today. Folks, sound off in chat. Let me know if you want me to show you anything inside of my scenery development that I've been doing for PYM. If you guys want to go check out more flight sim stuff, I can always just park the chopper here and then go get you guys over to someone else that's flying right now, like maybe Sim Caesar. But let me go ahead and put the helicopter down gently. Ground effect in this sim is a thing. It's crazy. But just be patient. Let the helicopter catch up to you gently. Reintroduce it to gravity. It's hard to hover in one spot. Sheesh. But at the same time, I'm not using my artificial horizon. But there we go. We're down. And that's pretty cool. I might do some challenges or go do some flying in different parts of the country or the world. I have yet to spend a lot of time in Singapore since like the last few updates. I'm not sure if there's a world update coming to that part of the world, like Jakarta or Bali or Bangkok or like, cities in Vietnam. It would be interesting because I've never spent a lot of time looking at that part of the world. I mean, I could probably fly to Kai Tak again or do something like that. But let's do this. I don't know. I might take a break and do a scenery dev stream a little bit later tonight. It might be a quiet one. So let me take a look and see who we can say hello to. Or let me just check in with Mrs. Digi and see what she's up to right now. Stand by one chat. I'll be back shortly. All right, folks, I am back. I think I'm going to go ahead and cap the stream here. I enjoyed doing the helicopter flights. It was actually pretty interesting because I saw some things that I don't normally pay attention to. I think what I'm going to do is take a break, um, chill, maybe reheat some food or make some dinner, and then probably come back later tonight after the pets are in bed and do some scenery dev. But you know what? You know what? While you're here, let's go ahead and take a brief look at the details that I've put down at PYM so far. If you've been a regular watcher of the stream, you already know most of what's been going on, and you're not going to see too much new details. If you haven't been around, I have been working on Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Right about here. It is probably what, like 10, 15 miles outside of the city of Plymouth. And I noticed that Eric Flight, a streamer that normally flies out of Plymouth in real life, was flying out of the airport. I talked briefly and I discovered when I loaded in that there were certain things that did not look proper. So I started a project in November, which is now, I think, going on its seventh or eighth month. So I am working on a project to build the airport better and make it something that GA pilots in the area can take advantage of and really enjoy. So I'm going to take a few minutes to show you around the airport, show you some of the changes that I've made and some of the things that I still need to do as we load it. So this is what the default version of Plymouth Municipal Airport looks like. It's got two runways, two physical runways. It's got essentially north-south and east-west runways. And it does not have the taxiway extension that's been built recently for this location. So I came in, I redid the groundwork, and I am adding details slowly. I will show you what the airport looks like now, and then I'll probably cap it. So let's go ahead and load in. The details will come in slowly. It take a while to load. There we go. Okay. So let me take away the editing rectangles since we won't be doing any editing work on this stream. And I'll take you on a quick tour. So one of the first things that we did was we got rid of the default placement of the beacon. This will probably get sharper as the scenery finishes loading in. Not sure if that's an MSFS bug or if I just loaded in too quickly. There's a default terminal here, which I'm probably going to work on rendering either this week or next week. This beacon I hope to replace with a custom model and a placement so it's not that tall. I've got some custom buildings here for what I believe should be service vehicles. A general terminal parking area, which I think I'm going to redo with new textures. And now I have added signs. So these are signs that you would see at each entrance. So for example, this is the Motika gate. I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly. I could be wrong. This is for aircraft maintenance. There are northern hangars here. There's another building, and I don't think this exists as a office building. I have to check, but this is a building here. I just found out what it was when I was watching Eric Flight stream today, which is fantastic. I'm looking forward to working on that. And I added signs up and down the street because those signs indicate where you go or what things you're going to go see when you go to certain entrances. So this would be the main entrance. You go to the terminal here, and there's like there's like 6 entrances total. I forget. And these entrance signs also light up. As I've done more and more scenery development, I have discovered it's possible to create objects that emit light, which turn on when it gets dark and turn off when it gets light. So these are the signs that are there at different entrances to the airport. There's another entrance here, and so on and so forth. So it's part of the level of detail that I'm trying to add to this airport. I really would like to get done with this place in the near future. I'm working on a potential release this summer. I don't see why it couldn't happen, but there's also other details that I have to basically do, like finish my taxi sign placement. Also, the taxi signs in general, I'm beginning to become less than pleased with the default signs. And it's not that the default signs suck per se, it's just that they don't look like signs that exist at the actual airport in the game, in the sim. Yeah. Pardon me. So, what's left for me to do here? There are several buildings that need to be replaced. And when I say replaced, I mean I want to get rid of as many stock buildings as I can, at least for the sake of making this place look better. I've already wrapped the airport in basic fence. And when I say basic, I mean default fence. At some point, I think I want to actually use custom fence, which I could create in Blender so that even the fence is custom or it looks like it's supposed to. But um, I'm probably not going to do that for this project. I'm probably going to do that for future projects going forward. Anywhere where the fence is particularly visible or iconic or representative of anything that you would normally pay attention to at an airport, like certain types of blast fence, etc. I do have a keypad for punching in, but I also got better pictures from my friend Eric Flight so that I can actually render what's supposed to be here along with 1 or 2 other pieces of equipment. The gate's pretty much going to stay the same. I could eventually create a custom fence one day that might even be animated, but I don't have the time for that right now. That is where you folks come in. I could see myself doing this full time, or at least trying to see myself doing this full time, but IRL, I work as a software engineer for a company. I'm not going to mention which company it is, obviously, because of, IRL reasons and stuff. But at the same time, I, I think I'd like to see this as a potential future career. Dave Rendon, enjoy dinner, my friend. May the Lord be with you and bless you and your family. A privilege to have you on stream, and glad you got to enjoy some different perspectives on Flight Sim. I will probably be wrapping up very shortly myself, but have a great night, and I'll see you around. But like I was saying, folks, I think I'd like to ask for your help. In general, I don't usually say stuff like this because I'm trying my level best to present a case for me bringing value to you without having to having to what am I trying to say? I'm trying to bring you value without putting a price tag on it. But at the same time, there's a problem with the equation because at some point you do kind of have to get some value back from the transaction yourself, whether it's chatting with folks or being able to really have meaningful exchanges of info or conversation or doing things like I'm trying to do, which is basically creating scenery, which I'm hoping to sell as payware scenery like this. I don't think I'm going to stop building scenery anytime soon. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of looking forward to the upcoming summer because I would like to spend some time doing some freeware scenery development, kind of like I did when I got started. But I'm not going to deny the fact that it would be great to put this scenery out there, finish building it, and use it as a springboard for doing things like, paying down debt, investing in the future of my scenery development, business pursuits, and things like that. It will be great to have you guys come aboard, and I'm still trying to figure out what the mechanics are going to be to present better vehicles for, you know, transacting different things or different ideas, whether it's having a Patreon or having a Buy Me Coffee account that actually is a part of like a support team that basically, I have like monthly supporters, stuff like that. I'm kind of leaving it up to you and also kind of thinking about how to better move forward with this. What am I trying to say? Just two things. There are two ways this can go. One way is, hey, did you makes the airport? Did you releases it? I get some money back for the investment, and then I start growing this investment out further and trying to turn it into something even bigger. The other thing that happens is I release the airport, I don't sell that much, or I sell nothing, and then I make an educated decision and say something like, hey, this is not going to change my desire to build airports, but it is going to change how much time I spend doing them and the methods that I use to create them. So if it turns out that this isn't something that a lot of people are interested in, then I'm probably going to do it more from a freeware perspective and take my time doing it and stuff like that. And I'll release airports way slower than I do right now because I'll be doubling down on things that I need to do to take care of my family and stuff like that. But I think to a certain extent, I still believe that this could actually turn into something groundbreaking or life benefiting. So I don't know. I don't know. In the end, I believe that having the market decide is kind of the way to go. But I'm not above telling you guys, hey, this is a point right now where stuff could either happen really slowly or really quickly. If I can get my hands on maybe better techniques or better approaches, I'm going to try to do some homework to learn how to do things better for scenery development. And I want to see what I see. Like, plain language. If the absolute worst case happens and I make $0 from Plymouth, I will still make airports. Like I said, I think my my curiosity and my desire to do stuff like that still exists. However, I will probably do it on a more relaxed basis, and maybe that's exactly what has to happen. Maybe, but who knows? And I mean this. I mean this quite literally. The Lord knows what's going to happen in the next, like, several months or several years. I think I'd like to do this as a means of turning what I've done for decades into something that I could literally use to shape a career out of. But we'll see. I would like to do that, or at least I'd like to try. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do anything related to going to Expo this year because I'm coming up on, I think we're coming up on running out of tickets to buy for Expo, and I don't anticipate being able to pick up airfare in the next like few weeks. So that's probably not happening. I respect that. I do. Thank you. Thank you, Complete Freedom. I think it's very easy to get in my own way or get in my own head and be like, no, like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like you have to like be in like five different places and do everything you have to do. And I think when I start thinking like that, when I start expecting more out of something than what's supposed to be, that's when I kind of start sucking the fun out of it. And then I'm like, oh well, like I should be here by now. Why am I not? And we talked about this a little bit on your stream too, but I think at the same time, I am walking the tightrope of enjoying what I like, pouring more into it, and or like seeing it as a potential springboard to changing what I do, impacting other people, benefiting and changing my family tree. If you're a Dave Ramsey person, you know what I mean. And moving forward with it better. Call it rambling, call it a bit of a rant, call it whining. Maybe, maybe. But, but that's neither here nor there. Airport's not done yet. We got a lot more work to do, but fortunately, the change up in terms of content and discovering different aspects of what has to be done, buildings that have to be rendered, it's made things interesting again and not frustrating or burning me out. I do, of course, need to take my time doing it, um, but at the same time, I want to see if I can get this done sooner rather than later. I believe the phrase is, it'll be done when it's done. And I guess that's it. Folks, really appreciate having you come along today. And I think we're gonna cap it here. Where can we go? Let me take a look at my channel, folks. Hold on. We have 757 Spy flying right now. Same thing as Sim Caesar. Uh, Ukendo, he has a Bush fly-in. Factual Gull is flying right now. Flights with Joel is flying right now. He's doing a Oregon Trail flight. Boeing Sky Pilot is flying right now. Stu 222 is on SDF. I think that's Louisville Tower. Scruffy Tam is collaborating with Captain Arash, learning how to fly the 737. And we have Nick doing virtual airline hops and Decimal 237. Who do I want to say hello to? You know what? Let me think. Let me take a look at the channel real quick. I'm gonna try to keep the volume muted. Interesting. Um, they are near Kilo Lima Mike Tango in the North Europe server. You know what? I don't think I've ever raided Ukendo, so I think I'm going to go ahead and raid Ukendo's channel right now and say hi briefly. So, folks, thanks for stopping by again. Appreciate having you on board. We'll set up the raid, and I will be out for the afternoon. I will probably come back online a little bit later, and then we will move forward. Who can do? There we go. Folks, like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you want to know the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Thank you, folks, for stopping by. Appreciate having you on board. Have a great rest of your night, and until next time, we'll see you. Bye.